Today I learned a teenager from Connecticut completed her bucket list right before she was hit by a car. She had one goal left, save a life, and before the car hit her she pushed her friend to get him out of the way. Today I learned that Samuel J. Seymour, the last surviving witness of the assassination of U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, lived long enough to be interviewed on national television on February 9, 1956. Today I learned that the American flag deployed on the moon during the Apollo 11 mission was inserted only 7 inches deep and was placed about 27 feet from the Eagle landing craft. As a result, it was blown over by the blast of the rocket exhaust during the takeoff back to Earth. Today I learned that no cases of strangers hurting children by hiding poisons or sharp objects in candy have been proven. However, in rare cases, family members have used the story to try to cover up murder or accidental deaths. Also, some children have copycatted it and then pretended it was the work of a stranger. Today I learned that 31 inmates of Louisiana's Angola prison cut their Achilles tendons to protest deplorable living conditions. This prompted national news agencies to write expose stories on inmate life, leading to prison reform. Today I learned the Catholic Church has a zero-tolerance policy on revealing confessions. If a Catholic priest reveals anything someone confessed to him, he is automatically excommunicated and can only be forgiven by the Pope. Today I learned Queen Elizabeth stopped breeding corgis in 2015. She doesn't want to leave any young dogs behind when she dies. Today I learned SUVs, with their higher front-end profile, are at least twice as likely as cars to kill pedestrians. Higher SUV sales have led to a huge increase in pedestrian fatalities in the U.S. during the past decade. Today I learned that in 1922 there were a series of riots in New York over whether it was acceptable to wear a straw hat after 15th of September. Today I learned about Greek fire. An incendiary weapon developed by the Byzantines in the 7th century, it was deployed on ships and in handheld tubes, operating similar to a flamethrower. Water didn't extinguish it. Its precise chemical composition is still unknown. Today I learned Alina Burfield Hazard, nicknamed the Starvation Doctor, was an American quack doctor noted for her promotion of fasting as a treatment. She was imprisoned by the state of Washington for a number of deaths resulting from this at a sanitarium she operated. Today I learned that theaters were among the first air-conditioned spaces available to the public, partly why theater was and is still so popular today. Today I learned there are no such thing as true wild horses anymore. The western U.S. has a population of free-roaming horses that are descendants of domesticated colonial Spanish horses and are thus technically feral, not wild. Today I learned on Titan, the atmosphere can hold the equivalent of about 10 meters of liquid before rain forms versus only a few centimeters on Earth. So Titan's weather is expected to feature torrential downpours causing flash floods, interspersed by decades or centuries of drought. Today I learned of Louis Fry Richardson. He derived many of the complex equations needed for weather prediction in the 1920s. However, the math was so difficult that to predict the weather 6 hours in advance, it took him 6 weeks to do the calculations. Today I learned about Crystal Radio, a radio receiver made with simple parts that needs no external power source. All it needs is a radio signal to produce sound. Today I learned a 2003 heatwave killed over 70,000 people across Europe, including 14,000 in France alone. Today I learned about the naming of Nintendo's character Kirby. In 1982, Universal sued Nintendo claiming Donkey Kong was illegally based on King Kong. Attorney John Kirby won the case for Nintendo, and they, in thanks for the help provided, named their, then, next character in honor to him. Today I learned that you couldn't take a calculus classes when Harvard started because calculus hadn't been formally discovered yet. Today I learned of Cameron Todd Willingham, who was charged and executed in 2004 for allegedly setting his house on fire to murder his 3 children in 1991. All the evidence against him was debunked by experts in fire investigations a few years later. Today I learned about the Heart Attack Grill, a restaurant where guests over 350 pounds eat free and you get spanked for not finishing your food. They have had multiple overweight spokespeople die. Today I learned about the Heart Attack Grill, a restaurant where guests over 350 pounds eat free and you get spanked for not finishing your food. They have had multiple overweight spokespeople die. Today I learned that Don Rickles passed away before he was able to record any dialogue for Toy Story 4. Rather than replacing him, Disney reviewed 25 years of material from the first 3 films, video games, and other media. They were able to assemble enough dialogue to cover the entire film. Today I learned an astronomer traveled to India in 1760 to observe Venus. His ship blew off course, and he missed the date. He stayed in India for 8 years to try again, but the sky was too cloudy. When he returned home, he had been declared dead, his wife remarried, his estate plundered, and his job lost. Today I learned when Charlie Sheen came out as HIV positive, it led to a 95% increase in over-the-counter HIV home testing kits and 2.75 million searches on the topic, dubbed the Charlie Sheen effect. Some said that Sheen did more for awareness of HIV than most UN events. Today I learned that for 14 years nobody on Sesame Street would believe Big Bird when he would try to tell them about Mr. Snuffleupagus. After an increase in child abuse cases, producers decided to make him real so children could see that adults will believe them when they have something important to say. Today I learned when Cristiano Ronaldo was asked to donate his cleats to a 10-month-old kid who had a brain disorder, he instead gave $83,000 to fully pay for the surgery the child would have. Today I learned Danny DeVito used to be a beautician. He went to New York to learn makeup, but the lady he sought after to teach him only accepted students from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. So he enrolled for a semester, and that's how he got into acting. Today I learned Seinfeld, Mad About You, and Friends all exist in the same universe. Kramer is subletting his apartment from Paul. Jamie appeared in an episode of Friends and mistook Phoebe for Ursula. Ursula works as a waitress in Mad About You. Today I learned a genetic mutation can cause some people to have 4 cones that perceive color as opposed to the standard 3, which means they would be able to see 100 million colors while a normal person sees just 1 million. Today I learned research has shown that when speaking, individuals who have been congenitally blind and have thus never seen anyone gesture nonetheless make hand motions just as frequently and in the same way as sighted people do. In fact, they will gesture even when conversing with another blind person. Today I learned Tony Iommi, founding member of the Black Sabbath, replaced his fingertips with homemade prostheses made out of plastic after losing them on his last day at a steel factory, requiring him to down-tune his guitar to play it, creating their signature sound and helping to define modern metal music. Today I learned at age 89, philosopher Bertrand Russell was jailed for breach of peace for anti-nuclear demonstration. They offered to exempt him from jail if he pledged himself to good behavior, to which Russell replied, "No, I won't." Today I learned the Bank of Canada once had to urge Canadian citizens to stop spocking their $5 bills. Today I learned Grace Slick, Jefferson Airplane, allowed Chick-fil-A to use her song "Nothing's Going to Stop Us Now" in a commercial just so she could take their money and donate it to Lambda Legal, an organization that offers legal support to the LGBTQ community and people living with AIDS. Today I learned that during the 2007 Glasgow airport attack, as one of the perpetrators tried to open the boots of his Jeep, a taxi driver, Alex McIlveen, kicked him in the groin so hard that he tore a tendon in his foot. Today I learned in 1950, medical knowledge was estimated to double every 50 years. By 2020, it is expected to double every 73 days. Today I learned that the Southern Pacific Company, while best known for its railroad operations, also owned and operated telegraph and telephone lines under the name Southern Pacific Railroad Internal Networking Telephony, which would later become the telecommunications company known by the acronym Sprint. Today I learned of Rosie Ruiz, a 26-year-old woman who won the Boston Marathon with one of the best times, only to be found out she had emerged from the spectators near the finish line. She previously rode the subway for the New York Marathon too. Thanks for watching. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe for new videos every day. Until the next video. Ciao ciao.